All right, guys, we are back. Mama's Tea Time with another episode. We are three mamas that we're here to spill some more tea for season 2. Are we ready? Are we
Yes.
ready? All right, well, I'm Katie,
I'm Jessica.
and I'm going to actually start out with a question today. Are we ready?
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like it's Halloween season,
Best time of year.
and
Best time
we
of year.
are, yeah, like we're at a time where we're like trying to figure out costumes. And I was thinking the other day, what is our favorite, most memorable Halloween costume that we dress up as? Because it's okay
Ooh.
as mamas, as adults, to still dress up,
Yeah.
right?
I'm dressing up this year, but it's because I have a
Ooh,
1-year-old now. So,
we love it.
my most favorite. Dang. I guess I would have to say probably a strawberry.
Like,
I dressed up as the fruit, the strawberry, like recently because I have to say that's my favorite because I've done it like 3 times.
like a big round, or not round, strawberries aren't round, but like
Yeah,
a blob where you're just walking in your huge strawberry.
yeah, the first year I did it, I made my own
Like,
costume. I made it so I got and I was really skinny back in the day. So like a very like 2X, 3X fit on me like a dress. I got a big shirt and then I got some like felt or whatever and like did the little seeds and put them all around my shirt. And then I took some more felt and made a little hat with the stem and leaves. And then I wore
I was
like sexy socks that went up to past my knees.
sexy socks with the strawberry costume.
Yeah, I was a sexy strawberry.
I was really hoping it was like this big like blob, like where you step into it and it's like you're wobbling because you're
And it
just so
like
big.
blows up. There's like the air thing that goes in and just like, hey guys, I have a
That's
strawberry.
what I was hoping. All right, Rachel, what spill your tea. What was your favorite?
My favorite, pretty controversial. Okay, I was a nun, but I was pregnant with my first,
Oh
and that
my
was my.
goodness. That is the best thing.
I love
Yours
it.
takes it.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I haven't even heard Katie's.
Well, mine's not that cool. Um, no, that's amazing. You were pregnant and a nun.
I mean, I was big pregnant. I have pictures.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to share them with me.
Mine's not that interesting. I mean, I've been in a lot of different things, but I feel like my friend and I, we were like old and we were just Mario and Luigi, like nothing too crazy.
I
But
was I was
we were,
Mario 2 years ago.
or like the Queen of Hearts was like a big thing to love being the Queen of Hearts, you know.
I was a
But
hipster 1 year.
oh yeah, I
So
was like a hippie one year. Like it was like I'm all about dressing up. I'm here for it.
for the hipster one, all I had to do was go into my closet and get dressed. And I called that my costume.
Oh, it was me.
That was basically myself.
Avril Lavigne, go.
Um,
Well, we have some spicy tea, guys. I know my story. I haven't heard the girl stories, but oof, just
yeah.
wait. Just
I
wait.
I think I'm gonna kick us off tonight.
Yeah, let's get it.
And I went into a different subreddit. So I'm in the Am I Overreacting subreddit. And so
Calming it down today.
yeah. Calming it down for sure.
Not, she's not wondering about the assholes anymore.
No, I want to know if people are overreacting.
Okay, let's do it.
This one says, Am I overreacting? My wife lied about where she was all night and won't tell me where she actually was. When I read this one, you guys, it's wild. So, she left the house at 5 p.m. saying she was going to her brother's house for the night. Brother lives over 100 miles away. I happened to check the odometer in my car because I knew the oil was due soon. And if it was too close, I would have asked her to take her car. When she gets back the next day, I see she drove less than 100 miles total. When I first confront her, she says she doesn't know why the odometer says that, so I ask to see receipts for the gas she bought. She
Then
refuses. Yeah, he's like, I need the
he's like, give
receipts.
me the receipts.
And so she took his car. So just keep that in mind. She didn't take her car. She took his car, and he's just checking the maintenance on his car. And so it's fishy. He just wants to know, you know. She refuses, trying to make me feel bad for not trusting her. Gaslighting. I start getting really upset, and eventually she leaves, telling me she's done. Finally, that night, she admits on the phone that she lied and was drinking downtown and slept in the car. I don't believe her, so I hang up the phone. She has no reason to lie about this. She literally was drinking downtown with her friends a couple weeks ago, and I was fine with it. She can do whatever she wants. I'm not controlling or jealous. A few days later, I ask her to explain what happened. She says she already did. I say, you were gone for 16 hours. I need more details. Doesn't remember if she went alone or with friends. Doesn't remember if she bought drinks, how much she drank, or what she drank. Literally can't explain any details at all other than I was downtown. Is getting upset at me again for even asking, saying she doesn't want to talk about it. So cheating is the only explanation, right? Lies about something for no reason, gaslights me when caught, refuses to elaborate on her backup story. I mean, how much more obvious does it get? There's an edit, but first.
Yeah, I need to know more. I need to know what's true. Did he figure it out?
Definitely fishy.
Yeah, something's fishy. So, edit, because he edited it, I guess, after reading some comments. To be clear, I had been checking the odometer every day because the oil was due very soon. I have had car after car break down on me. I cannot afford another one. If it was too close, I would have told her to take her car because she has one. Sorry if that wasn't clear. She took my car to do whatever she did. I didn't check the odometer in her car to try to catch her in something. I had no suspicion whatsoever. So, this was posted 18 days ago. He did comment on someone's comment, but initial thoughts.
So, I mean, he's not out of line. I would wonder if did they say they had problems before, or is this like the first incident ever that she's like being sneaky? Because I feel like if she was like doing, like messing around on him or like doing something, there would be other things. I feel like that would pop up, right? Or maybe this is the first time he's actually.
That's what I
Well,
was about to say.
What'd you
He
say?
said that he wasn't suspicious.
He
That
wasn't
he was checking his
suspicious.
car because it was due for oil change, and he wasn't already suspicious.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
it's
was
like the
just
only
checking.
thing that's happened.
The only reason he's suspicious now is because he's checking on his car that she took to do whatever she did.
And he caught her in
Clearly
a
didn't.
lie.
So my thought, if I was this dude, I'd be like, okay, what's his name or whatever? Like, what's their name? That's where my first initial thought would go, is like, you are cheating.
I
I mean, if
always
she's
say
not
this.
or what she did, then yeah. I mean, why else would you not do that? Why else would you not say where you are?
What were you going to say, Katie?
I always say, assume good intent.
I can't.
But, there's always a but. But the initial lie makes me not believe her. Like, why lie the first time?
Yeah.
When, if that was really true, what your new excuse was, you did it a couple days ago, like what he was saying. So it's like, I initially always give the benefit of the doubt. You always get assuming good intent, figuring out what's going on. I'm going to communicate it. But if you give me a reason not to trust you, I'm not going to trust you.
Yeah.
You're gonna lie, and and you're gonna own up to the lie later. Like, now you broke the trust. Now I'm not gonna assume. I'm gonna assume the worst. It's gonna easy to go. It's gonna be easy to go there. That's my raw thoughts. Like, now I know what. Like, I need the. What did he say in the comments? Because I need to know what. Is there an update? Is
So
there a?
someone commented and said the truth is so bad that she doesn't want to tell you and may never do so. Do with that as you will. And they commented back saying, "We're definitely getting divorced. Even if she didn't cheat, I'm not going to stay with a liar." But yeah, the worst part is never
Dang.
but the worst part is never getting closure. I could forgive her for cheating and we could be friends, but I'll never forgive her for lying to my face despite knowing I don't believe her. Complete coward.
He
Mm-hmm.
be mad.
He's pissed. And cheating is bad, and so is like going against someone's trust with you. Like this, he trusted her, and all she had to do is just be honest. He seems like a
Mm-hmm.
very forgiving, understanding person. Maybe they wouldn't be together, but they could have at least ended amicably. But I think that whole ship has sailed. Someone else did bring up a point and commented to his comment back and said, "So my boyfriend plays a lot of poker and I'm in the position where my life has had to fall apart for me to finally realize those things that don't serve me. So the closure doesn't come from knowing what the outcome was going to be. You'll never know. Most people don't show their cards in life and in poker. You just have to trust that you made the best decision with the information you had." So basically, like saying like you're not going to know, but it's like a chance, like she did or she didn't. You just have to make the decision. She's not going to tell you. So you're going to have to do what's best for you. And
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That comes down to the point of like, can I move on from this? Can I move forward, with knowing or without knowing? Even if you did know, could you be able to move forward and move on with it? And obviously he said he can't.
like in my head, the only reason someone wouldn't want to say to their significant other, their spouse, the person they married and have vows with, to not tell them what you're actually doing, I feel like it has to be cheating. Like, what else is so bad that you wouldn't want to tell your significant other?
I
Maybe
mean,
murder?
it could be like if you say anything, it could be like she's addicted to drugs or I don't know, I just made that up, honestly. I just made that up. But like, it could be other things. I'm not saying, like, obviously, I don't know, but why do I think when you read that comment that he responded to, that it was like secretly his wife? I don't know why I thought that. Like putting it out there, like do with that as you will. Like, what if she ended up writing that?
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
read it again.
goodness.
Read it again with
The
that
truth,
perspective.
yeah, the truth is so bad that she doesn't want to tell you and may never do so. Do with that as you will.
Like she's speaking it. That I don't know, obviously, but that's just when I heard it, that's what I initially thought of. Like, oh shoot, she's like, it's so bad. Like that's why I'm not telling you.
Dang. What if it's like turns into a true crime story?
Woohoo.
Well, my thing is like if he's divorcing you anyway, the marriage is done. Just say it. Just do whatever.
Give him the
What?
closure. Like, you
Like
messed it
whatever.
up.
Put it out there. Yeah, put it out there. Like you guys are
Nothing
not together. There's
nothing
nothing to
worse can
hide.
happen. Like, y'all are the relationship's done for. Might as well just say, "Okay, yeah, I was
This is what
seeing
I
someone
actually do.
else, or
Yeah.
I murdered a guy." I don't know. Like,
Unless it is something like that. Oh my gosh, yikes. Well, he was mad. You could tell he was in his feelings, like writing that,
yeah.
which I'm here for. We love the tea. We love it.
Love it, love it, love it. I'm trying to see if there's any more comments by him, but I don't see anything. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything.
I'm here for it. You know
Anyway,
what? He's pretty observant, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could kind of see like my husband checking his, and like he said, if she took her car, there wouldn't be a problem. He wouldn't know.
That's what makes you think that she wasn't really trying to hide it,
Mm,
you know? Like
yeah.
she wasn't very good at like I don't know.
I don't know. Not a lot of women know
Maybe
car
she's
stuff.
maybe she's not very bright. She's not. Never mind. I gotta say that.
I yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
Whatevs.
It like just was like perfect timing though. So it also could have been just like
How
that
long were they
divine.
married?
It didn't say.
Oh dang.
But this could have been like that divine intervention for him. Like it just like happened at the time that his oil needed changing.
I always, when stuff like that happens, there has to be something else going on that's a problem in the relationship if stuff like that's going on. I always say that. There's like a deeper rooted, for one, he obviously was like, we're definitely getting divorced. Like my trust is broke, blah, 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 blah. But I also think if that was me, I would still be like, let's go to therapy. Let's go to
Yeah.
couples therapy. Like, is there any way you're my husband? Is there any possible way we can resolve this? We don't know if that was said or whatever, but I like think that, like, I feel like he was very quick to maybe do that, or I don't know. I think there was some deeper issues on both ends, maybe that maybe they weren't satisfied in whatever way. That's assuming, obviously.
Oh, I can actually see other comments.
People don't just sneak around and look a different way if there isn't something else deeper. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look at these comments and maybe see if anything happens that we actually get the juicy details and bring
No,
it
I'm
up in
here
another
for it.
episode.
We
Mm.
we're here for it. Well, starting us off strong. Like that was some good stuff.
Like leaving y'all with the cliffhanger for next
I
time.
know, like I'm like wanting more, honestly. We need to legit save it. Jess, please right now go message him.
So what happened?
Update, please.
I need to
When
know.
was that? How long
It's been
ago?
18 days. What
Oh,
happened?
18 days. Okay, you should figure something out. He's like,
Yeah.
don't know. Don't know, filing for
You're not
divorce.
trying hard enough.
Definitely be an update.
Yeah, for real. I'm going to read some of his other comments that I couldn't see and see if I find anything and bring it up next time.
Yeah.
But let's hear another one. Let's see what juicy story Rachel has.
Another one.
Okay. Mine is about a mother-in-law. It is, am I the asshole? My mother-in-law is the Christmas Grinch. Or is it just me? Uh,
Why is that funny? Let's just take a moment.
My mother-in-law is the Christmas Grinch.
You're an asshole because we love a Grinch. I'm just kidding.
I see her as being a Grinch, but Grinch hates Christmas. Anyway, I'll just read it. Okay. I'm going through a tough time with my mother-in-law, and she needs some perspective. Am I being unreasonable, or is she? For context, I've been with my beautiful wife for 6 years, and since day one, we've spent every Christmas at her parents' house. My mother-in-law has a long-standing tradition that all her kids, plus their partners, must stay over on Christmas Eve, so she can wake everyone up at 4 a.m. Yes, 4 a.m. to open presents.
No.
Then we have to stay all day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why 4 a.m.? Because she's excited for everyone to open their presents.
That's me,
I've
actually.
tolerated this, but honestly, my wife and I are pushing 30, and her siblings are around the same age. We're all grateful, sure, but who needs to sleep over and wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning like we're still kids? Here's the kicker. We just had our first child, and she's only a month old. I assumed this year we'd be allowed to do things differently, stay home, let our newborn sleep, and visit the family on Christmas morning after breakfast. But nope. My mother in law is already asking when we're arriving on Christmas Eve. I brought up my idea of saying, and she flipped out, saying, I'm taking her grandchild away. All I want is for us to have a more comfortable Christmas and start our own little tradition at home before heading over later. I love my in laws, but my mother in law is hardcore about her plans. Birthdays, Easter, Christmas, everything has to be her way, and anyone who suggests otherwise gets the cold shoulder. My wife agrees we should stay home with our newborn, but she doesn't want to stir the pot. Meanwhile, I don't want to spend the rest of my life with my Christmas dictated by my mother in law.
Amen.
For reference, my wife's siblings feel the same way about the tradition, but they go along with it to avoid conflict. So, am I unreasonable for wanting to change things for the sake of my family? Has anyone dealt with this, and how do you manage it?
Yikes.
No, it's your.
I laugh at it actually. Like, what are you doing? You're adults.
Okay.
Right? They're in their 30s.
Here's my hot take, and maybe people will disagree with me, and that's fine. But whenever you get married and start having kids, you're creating a new family. So, yes, your outer family, your parents, your kids' grandparents, aunts, uncles, and all that stuff are still your family. But new traditions start whenever families start. So that's my thinking, and I feel like that should be okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I would not have waited until I was 30 years old.
It depends on me. If I was single, then yeah, maybe I'd still do that.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Yeah, it's different.
it's different when you're married and have children.
I might would talk like with my significant other and see if they're okay with it. But after kids, no. We can go over later.
Yeah, things are going to change, especially with a 1-month-old.
Yeah.
You cannot
What's the point?
plan times with a 1-month-old. You are on the baby schedule.
Yeah. Sure.
You cannot. I mean, I know for me with my baby, I'm always, and I always have been, a person that's earlier on time until I had a kid. And it's like, I can't commit to strict like time deadlines. I mean, I can really try, but it's harder. So
That's a lot, honestly. I think it's actually just laughable. I just think about all those. I don't know how many people are in the family, like all of them staying over there and getting up that early and being like, Santa. That's what I feel like. That's what I envisioned in my head.
also
So
4 o'clock.
These grown adults doing it. I don't know why. I think it's funny. But
I mean, I like it, but that's mean.
okay. Yes, I love Christmas.
Me too.
If you ask my siblings, I'm the one that wakes people up. I'm excited. I'm the little person that just goes in and wakes everyone up and we're, come on, Christmas. So I kind of laughed at that a little bit because I'm like, oh, that's me. But yeah, there's like a whole thing what Jess said. Like, come on. We're adults.
Like if someone
You
doesn't
want to do your
it,
own traditions. And then she should be respectful of that. Offer it, express that you love it and you appreciate it, but ultimately you can't manipulate people to do what you want just because you've always done it that way. Like, that's too much. I'm sorry, I'm also love my bed, and so I would want
I am so the same. I
would want to be home. Yeah.
My brother got married. His his in-laws do that. They sleep on the floor in their living room, or they used to. I don't know if they still, but
We
they
don't
used
know.
to.
It makes sense up until you're like 16, 15 to do that. For the
This was,
floor, for sitting,
married
sleeping on the floor part.
with kids. This was
No.
married with a few kids, still doing it.
Keep yawning. No, like that's not. No. I mean, I think it's funny
To get mad
personally.
at someone for saying no and then saying you're taking my grandchild away from me,
That's gaslighting,
that's insane.
manipulation. No,
Yeah, it's your grandchild, it's not your
my
child.
I've always said this. I've said this in past podcasts. It shouldn't be him having the conversation. He should have the conversation with his wife, and his wife, it being her mom, needs to say, "This is what our family has decided to do." He should not, because it's a different dynamic when, like, if my husband went to tell my mom something, she would take more offense to that versus if I was like, because I'm her daughter, like, I'm her kid, no matter, like, in-law, like, married in, yes, she loves him, whatever, but it's like, it's just a different dynamic when it's your kid saying, no, this is what we have decided as a family, like, thank you for the invitation, but now that our dynamic of our family has changed with this new baby, this is what we're going to do. But we will still come hang out at this time.
At 9 o'clock or something, not 4.
4 a.m. Like, sorry, I'm not alive at that time. Leave a message.
7 is when I would be like, okay, 7 o'clock, let's open up some presents and have some pancakes. I don't know. But
I'm
4?
sorry. I'm early bird. I'm an early bird. I love Christmas. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
You are not invited to
I'm the
family
one sitting there
Christmas.
waiting.
Just the
Speaking
morning.
of,
I love it. It's a good time. And then I want to go back to sleep. And they're like, no, 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 you didn't just wake me up to do this. You're trying to go back to sleep. That's
No
me.
naps on the couch later for you.
My siblings are listening to this. They're like, yeah, girl, she crazy. That's what happens. The only
Crazy.
time I feel like that would be acceptable is if it's distance. Like, if you don't live in the same town. Like, we travel for my husband's family that it's in Ohio. My family's 3.5 hours. So, like, we would stay, like, not on the floor or anything weird like that in a guest bedroom, but, like, I don't know what that is on the floor. But that's only reason I feel like that's acceptable
Yeah.
to, like, go stay in that scenario. But other than that, if you're, like, in the same town, like, no, see you later.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in my own bed.
we've gone to family houses that live like out of town and slept in the guest bed and woke
Yeah.
up and did,
Yeah.
We're doing that this year
didn't
for
wake
the first time. Traveling for Christmas.
Yeah, like, I'm not against that. That's like, you want to be with family. It's memories. Especially you want your kids to know their grandparents and their family, stuff like that. It's a special time for sure. Like, we switch off and on with what family we go to. So that happens a lot actually for us.
Yeah, we're starting that this year. Now that he's older, because he was 2 months old. 1 month old, 2 months old for Thanksgiving and Christmas last year. So we're like,
No,
not
yeah.
going to do all that. So we're starting it this year. But anyway,
Family issues like that is so hard to navigate because it becomes such a blow up and a divide, and then it involves everybody in your family because everybody's talking about it. It becomes very toxic really fast. I come from a big family, and that happens really often. But you just have to navigate it. Gotta do what's best for you and your family, and then sorry. Thank you next. That's our thing. Well, is it gonna be my turn?
oh my
Da,
gosh.
da,
Yeah, are you
da,
going to end
da,
us on a
da.
spicy one,
You
Katie?
know I always bring it. Come on, I always bring the juiciest, the best
We
stories.
need
No,
to
I'm just
just have a petition to make Katie end everyone because hers are always super juicy.
so if you think mine's the best, let me know. If you don't say anything. Thanks. Just kidding. I only want to know if I'm the greatest.
Yeah, don't tell her anything bad about her.
All right. That's why we don't get any comments.
Don't
I'm
say
sad.
that.
I'm sad, actually. I'm just kidding. All right. Title is da da da. I think I have accidentally conditioned myself to not want my husband anymore. How do I unlearn it? All right, let's get it. Me, female, 36, and my husband is male, 39. Have a 1-year-old baby girl. Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but overall, everything is fine. I got pregnant really fast, and we have been together over 3 years. We parent our child together, support each other, and everything is great on the surface. We are happy, and our baby is happy. Why do I feel like there's like a but coming? As always, there are some issues regarding our private life. He has a health issue that has escalated when I was in the last stages of my pregnancy. He got a new medication that we knew would solve the issue in around a year. We had a small baby and a lot on our minds. And a year did not seem like that long of a time back then. We knew the meds would affect his ability to perform in the bedroom, leading him to a decision that he would prefer not to engage in anything sexual during this time. He offhandedly asked me to not initiate. In hindsight, I know we should have had a proper conversation about this beforehand. But we were so tired of a colic baby and everything. Learning to be parents. Okay, relate.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I sometimes forgot. He is my husband and I love him. He turned me down gently, like a proper gentleman he is. But still, even if I knew he had a proper medical reason and that it was my mistake, the rejection hurt. I had a really hard time with the changes in my body, even developing a small eating disorder. I had gained a lot of weight during the pregnancy. I was really petite earlier, but I ended up losing around 60 pounds in the first 3 months. I still don't look the way I prefer, and I'm taking small steps in trying to learn to love my new mom bod. I know that struggle was partly due to feeling like even my own partner didn't want to touch me. Still, it's not his fault, and at the same time, I feel guilty. It's been a year, and I still and I still don't feel good in my body. Maybe I should have tried harder, but going to the gym with the baby was not an option here. Or maybe this is just an excuse. Now, my husband is finally getting off the meds. He is really excited about being able to return back to normal and to then again have a sex life with me. But I find myself scared. I realize that after all the rejection, I think I have conditioned myself not to want him. The idea of having to have sex with him feels ... I just don't want to do it. I know I could force myself to do it, lie back and think of the England kind of way. I know I can do it. I can, but I don't want to. And in addition, there is the timing. I had a traumatic birth and they had to sew me up. The idea of having him inside of me is also fear inducing. I don't know this body. I don't know if forcing myself to sleep with him is the best way for myself to learn about it. I like to do it, but I like to do it because I want to, not because I feel like it's my duty. Like I wanted before his medication, before being turned down again and again. God, I just want to go back to that, back to wanting him. I feel so guilty. His final doctor appointment is next week, and I'm so panicked. He is the loveliest man alive, a great father. He loves me so much, and I know we should discuss this together, but I just don't know where to start. I feel guilty about making my daughter's life harder by not being able to do this because I feel like I can't do this. The whole idea is enough to make panic start to rise in my body. And I have no one to talk to about this. My family loves him. My friends love him. Everyone loves him. And above all, I love him. Who could I talk to? I think that is why I'm writing here. Even if I feel a bit ashamed to write here about this, I'm an adult. I should know how to navigate things like this without going to strangers for advice. But I just don't know what to do, feeling a bit lost here, or greatly lost. So lost. I just think I need to know if this is normal and how to fix it.
I want to hug her
Can you
because
imagine?
my initial thought is she has severe postpartum depression.
Hmm.
And that it's not that she conditioned herself to not desire her husband anymore. It's she doesn't desire her own self anymore. And how are you? So it's like that saying. What's that saying? Like, you to love someone else, you have to love yourself, or something like that. It's basically that
I'm laughing because we always have a saying we don't know how it goes.
yeah, I don't remember how to say it, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's that you gotta love yourself before you love someone else, and she lost her love for herself during this time, and getting rejected when you're already feeling down about yourself just makes you go down further.
Hmm.
But it's really common to have postpartum depression. She might even have a little bit of like PTSD if it was a traumatic birth experience. And that can really mess with you mentally.
There's a lot to
So
unpack.
she didn't want to go to a stranger, but probably needs some kind of therapy, maybe both of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a lot of like individual work to do as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, I like how she recognized that they probably should have had a conversation about like what that medication would do to their relationship and all of the things like that. But um yeah, I just feel like postpartum is so hard in general. Like I feel like that was the lowest I felt about myself after birth.
Mhm.
And the hormones are really bad. It was just like I'm not a person who like cries or any like I'm honestly like it takes a lot for me to cry and I remember just like crying and then
Yeah.
that's being like what is wrong and I'm like I don't even know like I don't know what's wrong with me like you just like feel bad you're tired you feel not great about yourself and so you, like that reassurance should come from like your significant other of like you're still beautiful you're still like the affirmations like and I feel like she wasn't really receiving that also with dealing with all of the other avenues. Like,
Is it
I
bad
don't
that I
know.
wish I knew more about his medical condition and what medicine he was taking? Like, what is
Like,
like,
why can't you have sex?
what's the reason? Like, are you able to help her even if it's not helping yourself?
That's what I was wondering. Like, there's other things you can.
Besides just saying no.
No, I can't
Yeah.
physically do it. I'm not getting anything out of it, so you can't either.
It's 2024. Get over it.
No, when was this posted?
It's not all about you all the time.
2 days ago.
It's 2024.
No, there's just like a lot of things. Yeah, like, I mean, Rachel hit it on. Like, I always talk about therapy. If you're not in therapy, again, you should be in therapy, even if it's just like maintenance once a month. That's what I do. Um, but I think she has a lot, like the eating disorder, if she's dropped that much weight and she still feels like it's not enough, like, there's some other things going on with her, and I'm glad that he was a gentleman about it. It's just still a like feeling if someone doesn't want you feel like you're the person that should want you doesn't want you, even if he does, it just feels like that. So
And then you feel like it's your fault that they don't want you because because, you have a new body you're not used to. And they're like, no, I don't want to
yeah.
do this. And then you're like, okay,
Oh
it's
my God,
because of
what's wrong with
me.
me? Yeah. Why am I different? Yeah.
Or he thinks I'm
Also,
ugly.
okay. This is like really, I was debating whether I should bring this up, but like after you have a baby and then you go to have sex again, it is
It's weird.
not, it's weird. It's not great. That sounds terrible, especially if you've had C-sections, but like if you've had any kind of stitching or anything down there, it's just like trying to figure that out all over again is just like, it's sensitive and it's like a whole thing. Some women have worse than other women too, depending on how the birth was. So, yeah, it's just like a whole thing in general. So, like, she went so long without,
Yeah.
just like, okay, let's just get this
Because you
part
already
over.
have to
Like,
wait the at least 6 to 8 weeks. And then on
yeah,
top of that,
a year.
I have
what?
What?
experience with that one,
Mm,
with the traumatic stitches and
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean,
trying to do it again is like, you almost don't, like, that sounds bad because you're like,
it,
it's so
it's not
sensitive
normal
and
after that.
yeah. Yeah,
dang.
so that's like a whole thing in itself. So like she probably literally has like like fear. Like she said, like I am very fearful now.
Doesn't want to have to go through that again. I'm sure she is, though, like, I would do it all over again for my kid, but
Oh yeah.
if I could do it in a different way, I'd prefer that. I mean, that's how I feel about my C-section. Like there was possibility that one was going to happen. I always had it in the back of my mind, but like it did make things weird and uncomfortable, made you think about things more whenever you do engage in that activity after having a child. Because it's been a long time, depending on who you are, because some people use that method to try to get the baby out. Um, but
That's me.
yeah, and then you have to wait 6 to 8 weeks, or if you have
That's
a
me.
C-section, sometimes you have to wait longer than the 6 to 8 weeks, depending
Oh my
on
God.
everything that's going on down there. So then it's just a long time, and then whenever it's like hard to get that desire to, at least not for everyone, but sometimes like you just feel so
I know some
gross.
some women just go
Get
right back and
get
it's
right
like
back in there.
nothing.
I'll
Yeah.
be fully honest with the internet right now. Like it took a lot in me because I was not comfortable in this new body of mine, or this different body of mine.
Yeah.
It took a lot mentally for me to get to that spot again, because I had just like 6 to 8, 10 weeks ago, whatever, had my first major surgery, and I just feel different, and I feel like I didn't want to like present myself, because I didn't want him to see what it's like now, when it was completely different before the baby came out.
I know. Yeah. No, that's like real, that's raw. That's raw emotions, raw feelings.
I think
And
she
I feel like it's
does.
not talked about it enough. Like I feel like women don't really talk about it, about like yes, postpartum, they talk about 'em a little bit more, like issues with that, but like loving yourself after birth and adapting to, because you're most likely not ever going to be the same. Children are beautiful and a blessing. I'm not saying anti kids, but it does change you and you become like this new, like person. Not completely, like personality wise, but like your body becomes completely different. And so it's just like adapting to that and finding security and like confidence in it is like a whole thing you have to like learn to love yourself. And I think your spouse does a good, like, should do a good part in that, like,
Yeah,
helps bring you comfort, reassurance, like affirming, like,
complimenting
no, like,
every once in a while.
yeah, like you're, no, like you're beautiful. Like, even with, like, you just birthed our child. Like, I don't know, like, I just love that so much. And I feel like they have a huge role in that. They could do it well or they can do it poorly. And I've seen that happen very poorly to women, and they have struggled since then from it. But
I just want to give that girl a hug.
I know that's hard to navigate. But if they don't go work it out, like, sex is a huge part of a marriage. And I think if you're not wanting to have sex with your spouse, I feel like that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to be able to move forward with that? Like, you have to communicate. You guys have to resolve that somehow, like through therapy or something, communicating. First, let him know where you're at, because it's going to make him feel a certain way if he's like, okay, I can actually do this after a year. And you're like, no, or like, you can't. Yikes.
Dang. That wasn't spicy. That was just deep.
Yeah, we got
putting me in my feels.
Changing it up today.
No, but I really feel like I can relate. I can relate to that a little bit to some extent. And I feel like a lot, not every mama, but a lot of mamas can.
Yeah.
So, girlfriend, if you're listening, whoever wrote that story, you're not alone.
You're not alone. This is like when we need it. If you or someone you know has struggled with postpartum depression,
just know you're not alone.
You're not alone.
Tune into Mama's Tea Time.
Exactly. We are here.
You guys, these season 2 stories are hitting pretty hard.
We doing it.
We did say we were going to come back spicier than ever.
We love a good spice, guys. We are here for it.
Yep.
Well, we are wanting to do some guests. Be our guest. Be our guest. Be our guest.
Yeah, we have a couple in the works for this season.
Yeah, we do.
Some pretty exciting people. We're very excited. But we're not going to spill the tea yet. You just have to wait and find out and keep listening.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. It's coming.
Comment. If you're watching this on TikTok, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening on Spotify, comment who you think our guests might be. If you're in our TikTok world. Well, you guys, this was Mama's Tea Time.
We're 3 mamas.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea. Let's do it. Bye.